All right, I took a quick look at all of the new mutants, especially their passives, and they look bonkers. Looks like this is going to be a very useful Crucible team. And that's right, it's going to be Wolfbane, Cannonball, and Warlock. And we're also going to go over some footage of them and take a look at what their animations look like. And they look very good, look super useful. They got a lot of things in them that are going to make them effective tools against many, many, many teams. What we're going to do is we're going to go over all of their details. Now, Fury is recruiting new, fresh talent from Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters to form the next elite squad. The New Mutants useful team unites newcomers Cannonball, Wolfbane, and Warlock with returning heroes Magik and Sunspot, each bringing upgraded powers and renewed purpose. Absolutely. Built for Cosmic Crucible, they channel teamwork and raw energy to overcome tough opponents on both offense and defense. New Mutants are ready for any challenge ahead. So we're going to look at Wolfbane. We're going to go over the speed. We're going to go over the passives first because that's where a lot of the details and the nuance of the team is in the passive. Hero, Global, Mutant, Brawler, X-Men, New Mutant, speed of 124. They do a lot of things to mitigate speed gain, speed stat increase, whether or not they go first or the other team go first. So that is not slow in that context, but by other standards, 124 is on the slower side. It feels like the game has kind of pivoted to raw stats. We'll take a look at that. Let's go to the passive first because there's some bonkers stuff here in Wolfbane's passive. Passive, Team Wolf. When an enemy gains stealth, apply speed up to self and all new mutant allies. On self or new mutant ally crit, apply bleed to all enemies with bleed up to a maximum of 10. So Raider's going to be a good choice there. In Crucible, if this character has 3 or more new mutant allies. Now check this out. When an enemy gains bleed, fill speed bar by 10%. Nice. Enemies cannot assist. Ooh, there's rooms that do that. This kind of shuts down Odin. Speed bar cannot be filled or reduced by any enemy for themselves, allies, or enemies. So that's going to be better than and similar to that of Captain Britain. So this is going to shut down, speed bar based teams and speed bar based characters like Super Skrull. Very, very powerful. In Crucible, this character and all new mutant allies gain 100% crit chance against enemies with blind or silence. All right, so we're going to want to do Raider, probably default Raider on most of the team. Now let's go to the ultimate, and we do have an animation here that we can take a look at. So this is going to be the ultimate for Wolfsbane. Let's see where we got Wolfbane ultimate. Let's switch over to this right here. And here we go. What do we got here? Do your thing, chicken wing. Looks pretty cool. No sound, but still pretty cool. All right. All right. All right. I kind of got a brawler feel for sure. Now let's go and take a look at what that does. Attack primary target for piercing. Apply disruptive for 2 turns. Heal block for 2 turns. Reduce speed bar by 30%. Bonus attack. The most injured enemy for piercing. On kill. Generate 3 special ability energy for self. Gain offense up for 2 turns and speed up for 2 turns. Enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. Attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Now, she's going to be taking a lot of turns if there's bleeds popping off, right? So, and she's going to be getting all this ability energy. That sounds great. That is great. Let's go to the special right here, which we have an animation for that as well. Let's take a look at that. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like kind of like what you would expect from a brawler. Very Wolverine looking, X-23 looking for sure. All right, I like that very much. Pretty cool. I like the colors on the team. Looks great. All right, so what does it do? It's an 8/8, but she's going to be getting special energy from the ultimate potentially, right? So apply 2 counter to self and all new mutant allies. Attack all enemies with piercing. Apply 2 bleed and heal block for 2 turns. If any target has stealth, apply an additional 2 bleed to that target and then clear the stealth. Bonus attack that enemy support with the highest damage for piercing and prolonged duration of all negative effects except ability block, stun, trauma by 1 up to a maximum of 3. In Crucible, if this character has 3 new mutant allies, reduce the duration of all positive effects except stealth by 2 and on all enemies. Unavoidable and cannot be blocked. And then the basic attack does damage, flips regeneration, prolongs the duration of all negative effects except ability block, stun, and trauma by 1 up to maximum 3. The primary target has bleed. This attack gains crit chance, and the ISO 8 ability is very similar. This all screams Raider as far as ISO 8. We got concept art. I like that they've included this now. And now we're going to get to Cannonball, which is going to be a little bit faster. This is going to be 129. And Cannonball is going to be the protector on the team. Let's go down to the passive first. We got a lot of it right here. Human artillery on spawn. Gain 2 deflect and taunt for 2 turns. On self or new mutant ally crit. Gain deflect up to a maximum of 10. Again, this is Raider team. When this character or a new mutant ally drops below 50% health, apply 2 deflect and safeguard for 2 turns to self and all new mutant allies. In Crucible, if the character has 3 new mutant allies, on self or new mutant ally turn, if this character's health is above 50%, gain taunt. Enemies with blind or silence cannot generate barrier for themselves or their allies. Support and protector enemies cannot spawn with immunity. This character or any new mutant ally does not have defense or minor defense up. That character gains damage reduction, resistance, and then for each deflect on this character, gain crit chance and armor. And we're going to look at the reworks for Magik and Sunspot, and they're going to do some anti-taunt mechanics for the other side as well. Now we're going to go to the ultimate. Let's look at the animation for Cannonball's ultimate right here. Got that loaded up. All right, that's coming. That's pretty cool. I like it. Take that, Star Jammers. Okay. Ultimate Battlefield 3-5. 3-5. Apply stun to primary target. Attack primary adjacent targets for damage. Clear 2 random positive effects. For each deflect on this character, attack gains 25% extra damage. Oof. Apply offense down up to a maximum of 3 to primary adjacent targets. Apply slow to maximum 3 to primary adjacent targets. Gain 5 deflect. Enemies cannot be revived. Fantastic. And then we've got the special. We'll take a look at the animation for that as well right here. Here we go. Oh, what is he doing there? Okay, there you go. Oh, you gotta make it fall down on the ground. Make it feel worthwhile there. Clear all barriers on all enemies. Attack all enemies for damage. Clear 2 positive random positive effects. Apply offense down for 2 turns. In Crucible, if the character has the team, 3 new mutant allies, apply blind and trauma to all enemies. Apply ability block to mythic protector enemies. Apply stun to non-mythic protector enemies. Apply immunity to self and all new mutant allies. Gain deflect up to a maximum of 5. In Crucible, this attack gains extra focus. Unavoidable, cannot be blocked. So he's all going to be about deflect. And again, Raider. And then the basic attack. Attack primary adjacent targets for damage. Offense down to slow for 2 turns and gain deflect up to maximum 3. And then that's going to be very similar. So his damage is going to ramp up with the more deflects. We got the concept art. Fantastic. We didn't get a T-pose. Come on, let's get a T-pose. All right, Warlock, 121. Let's go to the passive. So keep in mind that the team already has anti-turn meter fill or reduction. Warlock is going to provide the anti-speed stat increase or decrease. So it has kind of an anti-OG Emma mechanic as well. Until this character completes a turn, enemies cannot gain offense up, and this character and new mutant allies cannot gain stun, defense down, or exposed. In Crucible, on self or new mutant ally turn, if that character does not have defense up and has any negative effects, flip 1 negative effect to defense up and flip all remaining negative effects to deflect. All right. In Crucible, if this character has 3 new mutant allies, On spawn, after all their characters on spawn effects, transfer all speed up, defense up, and offense up from enemies to self, and then spread speed up, defense up, and offense up to self and all new mutant allies. So that's kind of like a Ares mechanic. In War, Ares does something like that. Enemies can only gain bonus speed through positive effects. So that's going to be like the Emma X-Men, the new Emma has a similar mechanic on there. The speed of this character in each ally can only be reduced by slow. So that's going to be an anti-OG mechanic, OG Emma mechanic right there. And then this right here is going to look and feel like the new Emma X-Men. All right, let's go to the ultimate and we'll take a look at the Warlock ultimate here. Let's pulling that up right here. Let's switch over to that. Do your thing. All right. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's cool. That's cool. I love that. They always go above and beyond the animation as far as I'm concerned. 6/6, reduce the duration of all negative effects on self and new mutant allies by 2. So that's going to sidestep trauma. Attack all enemies for damage, apply silence for 2 turns, and trauma for 2 turns. So if we look at a lot of the kits and the passives, they are mentioning silence. So that's where the silence is going to come from. In Crucible, this attack gains piercing. In Crucible, if this character has 3 new mutant allies, flip vulnerable charge and revive once to ability block on all enemies. Wow. Flip vulnerable exposed in darkness to immunity on self and mutant allies. Wow, that's kind of the darkness is null, so that's kind of helps out against null. Clear all battlefield effects on the allied side. Attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Special bomb chopper. So let's take a look at the special for Warlock here. All right. There you got the bomb. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. If this character does not have trauma, transfer all negative effects from new mutant allies to self, flip all negative effects to positive effects, attack all enemies for damage, and apply silence for 2 turns. So we got silence again. Clear all battlefield effects on the allied side. Enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived. Attack is unavoidable. 121, and then the basic and the ISO attack is attack for damage, flip random positive effects, apply stealth to all new mutant allies with 50% health or less. I like that. Also, Dawkins going to go crazy. Although Dawkins pre-Ares stats, so I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. And then we've got the concept art, and we got the T-poses as well. Let's go over Magik now. I'm sure one of these are going to be dropped. I don't know if it's going to be Magik or Sunspot, but it does look like the kits are designed in a way so that there is some agency in deciding which one's going to be used. I suspect, well, we'll just take a look. There's the stats there on Magik. The special now has heal self and new mutant allies for 30% of his character's max health, and then flip immunity regeneration. Heal the most injured new mutant ally for 10% of the character max out and clear 3 negative effects. And then the passive, right? On crit, by self or new mutant ally, clear heal block from the most injured new mutant ally and heal that character for 5% of this character's max health. The first time this character or new mutant ally drops below 40% health, heal that ally for 30% of this character's max health and reduce the duration of disrupted by 2 on that character and apply 2 death proof and 2 evade if that character drops below 40% health. Again, I guess says again, but I'm sure that's health gain. Heal that character for 15%. Apply death proof and evade instead. Okay, so if you want to do more healing, Magik. Also, I'm curious if Magik will be useful with Phoenix. We'll have to see. I also like her outfit for sure when she's got the Midnight Suns. Now, a lot of people already have Sunspot already upgraded, right? And because he's a newer character, stat increases. All right, the special now will apply slow and heal block, and then it'll prolong all negative effects, including trauma. And then one of his raid abilities right here, which will adds the disrupted, which was not working except in raids. Now it also applies in Crucible. In Crucible, this character has 3 or new mutant allies. Enemies cannot gain taunt. So, the whole team will be a thing, but a lot of people are going to want to take one member out. If you want to have this anti-taunt, you got Sunspot, and he does a lot of other very useful things, of course, too. And then Magik will have better sustain for the team. You excited about this? Hopefully I can get access to test this sooner than later, and then we get some gameplay videos, and I'm going to try to test them outside of Crucible to see how viable they are. For example, like in Alliance War. Let me know what you think. If you didn't know already, by leaving the video a thumbs up, you'll have 4 fingers pointing back at yourself.